This yurt is where we have lived for the last 5 years. It's been a great space to settle in while we restore the land it stands on. And we slowly but surely get a better feel of where we want to live long term. But it's not been ideal. While the living space has everything we need, it is far from perfect. The yurt and the kitchen are not as close as we'd like, making especially the winters a struggle. When we built the deck for the yurt, we also definitely made a few mistakes. We hadn't done much building at all, so we just kind of learned the basics and ran with it. We were also trying to stretch our budget as far as possible, so we bought the cheapest wood. And finally, and probably the biggest mistake, we made the deck too big. Over the next few years, we tried to fix these mistakes, but we kept having issues with water staying on the deck and seeping into the yurt, which, as you might imagine, is not great. The water issue, combined with it just being cheap wood, also meant that after all these years it has started to rot away. We had never planned to stay in this yurt for more than 5 years, but here we are. We definitely need a few more years to finish a house, but we can't stay on this deck for much longer in its current state. So this spring we had to make a choice. Try to fix the deck where it is or take some more drastic action. Our property is 3 hectares, most of it is a very steep hill. And as you might know, we plan to build right on top of that hill. But right now, we are almost at the bottom of that hill. In case you're wondering, why didn't you just put the yurt at the top to begin with? Well, because that was literally not possible a few years ago. We've done some major work on this hillside, which included putting in a path that goes all the way to the top. Before, it was just young pine trees and lots of bushes. So there was no way we could have put up the yurt there 5 years ago. Now that we have the road and the building site up there, life would just be so much easier if the yurt was also up there. So that's what we decided to do. Back in April, we decided to start this project, and at the time slightly delusional, thinking it would only take a couple weeks. It ended up taking the whole summer, and here is how it went. First things first, Maarten needed to clean an area close to the building site that was big enough and only needed a little leveling. We decided on the back of the property that had never been cleaned before, so here you can still see what our land used to look like. For those getting the urge to comment about goats, please stop. Some of these stems are as thick as my ankle, and no goat will chew through that. This needs machinery, whether you like it or not, so we are just very thankful that machines like this exist these days. After all that cleaning, we decided on a spot, and once again slightly delusional, started leveling a spot by hand. While it totally would have been possible to do this all by hand, it would have taken weeks. And so we are once again happy that machines exist and called in a favor from Frank the Digger, who leveled the whole area in less than a day. Another reason that we decided to embark on this project was that this spot would be a great place to have a guest house in the future. With this in mind, we also wanted to put in the extra time, effort and money to make this new base very extra well. We've learned a lot about building and different materials over the last few years to really improve on the design. The old deck was square but made to fit the round structure of the yurt because that is what we could build at the time. This time Maarten designed a round deck on cement blocks that will fit the yurt perfectly, so that we will not have a standing water issue again. We also opted for the cement blocks this time, making it a little easier to level everything, as well as close off the area under the deck completely to prevent pets from going under there. The only real concession we made was, as you will see later, on flooring. In a perfect world, I would have added a nice wooden floor to the inside of the yurt this time. But since we did not have that 500 plus euros to spend, we just went with extra thick OSB. The thick boards are really heavy and structurally sound and should last a long time if they don't get wet. I don't mind the look, and since life is not perfect, this will do just fine for now.
Ik ben er klaar voor je. Ja,
Since we need cement to fill the cement blocks where we will put the beams on, we also need water. We couldn't move the water line for our main pump uphill yet, because we still needed it at the old living area. So we decided to move the line for our 12-volt pump. These types of pumps can move water quite far up a hill. They just go slow and steady. The thin line is also pretty cheap, so this was the easiest option for us. After lots of pulling and connecting, we did get it to work, but annoyingly only for a short time. We got the new IBC filled up enough to do the cement, but not much more than that. There must be a leak somewhere along the way, but we have yet to find it.
Nou, al die squats die ik deze week heb gedaan, die komen wel van pas.
Ja, was dat genoeg? Ik kan het nog een keer doen.
Wow.
Doe jij hier nou aan het?
Anyway, we could get started with the cement. By this time it was early August and quite hot every day. The cementing was new for me and I thought it was quite fun to learn. Around this time we also had some visits from family and friends, which also meant help in getting the deck together. Because of the heat, this work was mostly done in the early morning and at night after the sunset.
Dan zit er iets makkelijker in. never hurt anyone.
Did you just steal my joke?
No. It's not your joke. It's a very old joke. Can I... Het is gewoon stenen erin duwen die op het randje zitten.
Een sjaal.
Oké, ik krijg hem niet dieper dan dit.
Oké. Oké.
Dat is vals spelen, Puk.
Ja.
In the corner here you can see the beginning of our new kitchen area right next to the yurt this time around. But because we needed the wood from the old deck to finish it, we needed to take that down before we could continue this part of the project, which will be the subject of a future video. So with the deck mostly finished, it was time to start taking down the yurt for the move. We had invited a few friends over to help with this move, but to make the process easier, Maarten and I took down all the covers and felts the day before. This way we could just dump everything in the trailer the next day and make the move a little smoother. In this move, I definitely learned that we have too many books for the amount of space that we have, and thus how much bookshelving space we need in the house, which is quite an important lesson in my opinion. That night we slept in just the frame, which was honestly fine since nights are still warm at this point. I'm so grateful of the good friends that we have made these last few years. We had a great team that day and the build went so much smoother than the first time around. In that full day we managed to put up the frame in its new spot.
Leaving us soon.
sorriu, chorei. Nunca pude imaginar que isso fosse acontecer. E numa bola de cristal vi o futuro transformar. E o que era bom ficou legal. Passarinho da montanha quando chega voou, voou. 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 Que o vento leve logo já. Vento leve, logo já. Vento leve, logo já.
And here we find two middle-aged men making a yurt from plastic. One of them's eating plastic.
Are you sure that one aquadent wasn't too much for you?
Wasn't it?
They think I'm drunk.
Now it's awkward.
Right.
Thought you two were YouTubers.
Yeah.
Life on film, YOLO.
Passarinho da montanha quando chega voou, voou. Passarinho da montanha quando chega voou, voou. Passarinho da montanha quando chega voou,
He is single.
voou. Passarinho da montanha quando chega voou, voou. Vento leve, love, logo já. vento leve, love long. Puxa. Que vento leve, love long. Puxa. Que vento leve, love long. Puxa. Que leve, love já. Para 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 tugadum. Para tac 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 tugadum. Tac 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 tac.
So let's leave it now.
Tac 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 tac.
Sorry. I've done it like this.
Free flowing, sailing with the wind, not knowing how this story ends. Kind and brave, I know you'll find a way. Live your truth, and good will come to you.
After the kids went to bed, we had to push through though and paint the frame with linseed oil. While it was hard after such a long day, it had to be done because it's good for the wood, and this is pretty much the only time we had to do it. The next day, neighbor Nathan joined us again and helped putting on the 2 layers of felt and the rain cover.
Sorry, I'm just
Grounded, steady, earth between your toes, arms wide, ready, love is true, you know. Come roll, you can borrow calm, piece by piece, thriving in your bones.
So that took a little longer than a few weeks and more money than we had hoped, as any building project does. But now that we have moved the kitchen, as you will see in the next video, and we are more settled here, we are still so happy with this decision. The new layout is much nicer and the whole area just feels much more intentional because it is. We can also already see how this will make the house build much easier. No long track down anymore because we forgot a certain tool or because the kids want a snack. Simply walk to and from, and at the very least, the move into the house will be 1,000 times easier.